Hi. There has been much noise recently about fake news. This is nothing new, of course. If you have been investing in the market for years like I have, and have gray hair, you would know that it had always been thus. It always existed. The rich always cried that the poor should work. The poor always cried that the rich should pay. Anything that proves the poor right, the rich would call fake news. Anything that proves the rich right, the poor would see as fake. It is the same in the market. So-called fake news always coexisted with the market. They have always been purveyors of fictitious news for the benefit of the purveyor or for the purveyor's clients, also called PR, and it has nothing to do with ideology. Even in biblical time, the first spies sent by Moses into the land of Canaan before conquering it brought back stories of giants that would be hard to fight. Why? Because the news bringers didn't want to fight. They wanted to stay in the desert, enjoy free manna from heaven. Tendentious news have always been with us. What is new is the indignation and moral fervor trying to eradicate it on both sides. Have you ever felt the urge to point to an item on the news as fake just because you disagree with it? My advice is don't. It's a waste of time. And by waste, I mean profitless. If you find some news item which you think is false, don't go proselytizing for or against it. If you are really sure it is untrue, simply take a contrary position to it in the market and take the believer's money. Now, what is true? What is fake? In science, a true theory is one that helps you forecast correctly. A fake theory gets you wrong forecast. That's it. It's the same in the market. Real is that which helps you make money. Fake is that which makes you lose money. Or, as the Chinese communist of all, Deng Xiaoping, once said, whether a cat is black or white is immaterial. What's important is how well it can catch mice. Whether it is a communist or a capitalist cat, a conservative or a democratic cat, is irrelevant. The same with news and forecast. The only question is, how well can it make you money? It's the only thing that matters for you as an investor. If it can make you money, it is true. If it can, then it's false. But here's a key question. How can you tell in advance if some facts are fake, some are true? The best way, of course, is to sleuth them in person. Getting your facts or theories freely from the internet is less than useless. It can lose you money. As the allegedly richest man in the world, Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, had once said, free information is never really free. The only good information is the kind you pay for, and he should have added, the kind you worked for and found yourself and so is exclusive to you. Anything you find for free on the internet is said by someone with an interest in your acting on it. There's no need to get exercised over it. Do you think they'd like to act for your benefit or for theirs? Right on, for theirs. It's normal. And this is true both about politics and investments. In fact, about everything. For example, assume you've read on the internet that the gold stock you like has just had a COVID-19 spread to the mine site, which will not open for a year, so the stock tanked. But is it true or is it false? And how to find out? One option is to read everything about the internet company or the internet for free. The second option is to call the company storyteller, also known as PR person, also free. The third option is to call your favorite analyst and ask him. All these options cost you nothing. They are free. But do you think they'll help? Nope. You'll get the same doubtful information as anyone else. You'll have no edge. If instead of listening to more rumors or calling the official truth spinner or your analyst, say you jumped into your car and drove 10 hours to the mine, then ask the locals what really goes on. And say they told you that only one guy felt sick, later it was found he really had asthma, and the plant will reopen Monday. Then you also find that top management have been buying shares and the price declined. What do? As Groucho Marx once says to Margaret Dumont in the movie, who had just found him in bed with a blonde, who would you believe, your lying eyes or me? I'd say believe your eyes. Remember what Vladimir Vladimirovich said, free information is never free. And I'd add, it is often the most expensive of all if you act on it. because you'd be likely acting for someone else's benefit, not yours. Now, I'm not saying that public information is useless, far from it. But its use is not in its content, but in the fact that someone took the trouble to put this piece of information out. The question is why? And who is this someone? What is his interest? What's in it for them? There's nothing illegitimate in it. People act for their interest. But what is their interest? If you train yourself to ask these questions about everything you read and hear, the entire field of free information will open up before your eyes as a grand theater with many skilled actors waving their arms, trying to pretend they're on your side, while really trying to bring you over to theirs. How to find your way in this information jungle? Here are a few more rules. Every time you see someone speaking on TV, ask yourself this question: is he a principal or is he an agent? If a principal, what are his assets? Where are they located? What would he like to do or see happen to protect them or grow them? Now, what if the speaker is an agent? Then you ask, what is his income? Who is the boss that pays him this income and why? What is his boss's interest? That's the interest that the agent must advance. Once you see free information this way, things begin to clarify as you see everything, but everything, said or published on the internet as serving the interest of the speaker or the writer, or that of his boss. Once you see it this way, you begin to see what really goes on. For example, you then realize that those who propose lowering the drinking age to 16 probably have shares in breweries, while those who want to raise 25 may have shares in cannabis growers. Nothing nefarious in this. It's self-interest. Now, I'm not saying that all interest is commercial, but it's a good start and a fine training for being a sleuth. Yes, every bit of free information out there serves someone's interest, whether commercial or political. However, just as interesting is the information being withheld, like Sherlock Holmes' famous dog that didn't bark and so provided a clue to the mystery. For example, take the Chinese companies publicly traded in North America who vehemently object to having the financial statements audited to American standards. Why do you think they object to it? Is it for your sake or theirs? But you may ask, is there also some public information that you can trust? Yes, there is. To start with, buying and selling by insiders. They have to report it. That's real information. And by that I mean real insiders, employees and managers and directors of a company, not outside money management companies who already have more than 10% of the stock and have to report any further buys and sells. These are often run by fairly young MBAs who have no idea how the real world really works. But by insiders, I mean working insiders who know a lot, live on a wage, so for them, every dollar counts. What about opinions by market people report to the internet? Which of them can you trust? Which can't you? Here the rule is clear. Trust long-term winners more. When they speak, better listen. You still have to see where the interest lies, but you can listen. David Tepper, Jim Rogers, Warren Buffett, Gene Simmons, who unfortunately doesn't say much, acting mostly with computers, Sam Zell, who knows everything about real estate, Carl Icahn, Ray Dalio. All of them are billionaires who are long-term very successful. But of course, best of all, is the physical information you sleuth yourself, like that gold mine whose shares just went down because of rumors. Now, what about now? All the rich billionaires I mentioned above say their market is exceedingly expensive. Warren Buffett has 150 billion in cash and he keeps selling. So do the others. So which way is the market going? Draw your own conclusions. As for fake versus real news, if you think some news you are fed are fake, keep it to yourself. Don't rail against it. Don't proselytize. Don't try to convince anyone you are right. It has always been thus. And besides, you may be wrong too. The real test of being true is if you bet on your own contrary view, would you make money on it or would you lose it? If you are that sure, bet on it. But what if you did lose money? Then your so-called real news has been a faked one. Next time, beware of its source. That's all for now. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. And if you like it, give it a like and subscribe to it. Then tell all your friends to subscribe to. I'll see you next time. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching.